Announced today that the agency will not recommend charges against Hillary Clinton for using a private email server while she was Secretary of State. He said federal investigators did not find evidence of intentional wrongdoing, but there is evidence that Presumption and her staff were, quote, extremely careless, end quote. Comey also said that 110 emails sent or received on the Clinton server contained classified information. Joining me right now to offer more insight into this is criminal defense attorney Pate, political science professor Dr. Andra Gillespie. There's two ways to look at this, politically and to look at it legally. Paige, let's begin on the legal. Facing a federal indictment, yes?
Absolutely. I think if any other person looks at this type of evidence, I mean, what the FBI found in connection with this case, especially the destruction investigation, some other prosecutor may have looked at this differently and decided to press charges. So
why did the FBI decide not to do anything? Is that home cooking because you have a Democratic administration in power?
You know, that argument is certainly going to be second.
Can you ever put aside politics?
That's a great question. I don't know. In this situation, probably not. But the FBI director is basically clear evidence of intent to violate the law. But there was extreme carelessness. There was reckless behavior. She knew or should have known. That type of evidence, that type of knowledge, for some prosecutors would be enough to bring charges.
Dr. Gillespie, this is now clear sailing to the convention. Bernie Sanders now becomes an afterthought, and for a lot of Democrats who plan on voting for Hillary Clinton, this is a sigh of relief.
And in some ways, so we know that there won't be an indictment, and so for those who were still on the fence campaign. And so Hillary Clinton has a credibility problem with respect to her honesty. In some polls, she even trails Donald Trump with perceptions of her honesty or lack thereof.
So does that only grow that? Is there any way for her to mend this?
I think it's going to be difficult, and I think we have to consider the extent to which that's already baked into the cake. So there are lots of people that think that she's going baked into the cake, but the narrative of Hillary Clinton being less than trustworthy is something that she's going to have to overcome.
Paige, I see you shaking your head right now.
See, what I don't understand about all of this is they could have avoided the problem with the optics, the problem with the appearance of a conflict of interest. Appoint a special prosecutor to review the evidence and then make an independent determination if there's enough to go forward. But now they've created an issue that certainly to Trump on. This is the Obama administration. The Attorney General said, I'm not going to reverse whatever the FBI says. I can't think of another situation where that's happened.
Dr. Gillespie, do you believe this now becomes the central theme of the Trump campaign as far as playing whack-a-mole with her during the fall?
Well, this was always going to be something that would come up because people have questioned Hillary Clinton's trustworthiness for years. Now they have proof that she's reckless, and so they're going to question her judgment. For a Trump supporter, this just gives you further evidence to support Trump, and if you were a Clinton supporter, this outcome actually encourages you in your support of Hillary Clinton.
Do you think there are concerns with Democrats when they see what is transpired? The optics, I'm going to use your word again.
For, I think, many Democrats, they may be looking at her as the anti-Donald Trump, and so they will continue to submit a better, more viable option. And at this point, I wouldn't view Bernie Sanders as a viable option.
Paige, I'm seeing a lot of
the investigation differently, and now there's this issue out there. I mean, think of the last time we had a presidential candidate sit down with the FBI for 3.5 hours this close to an election. You can't, because it's never happened before. So it's incredible to me that this won't affect the election. And I'm no Trump supporter.
.5 months of that.
Yes, and one of the things I will say about this is that even with a special prosecutor, if we'd gotten to the same conclusion, well, the Bill Clinton-Loretta Lynch controversy would have been neutralized, but people would have still seen what they wanted to have seen in this outcome.
Dr. Gillespie, thank you. Paige Pate, always a joy to have both of you here front and center with your thoughts and observations. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Katie.